Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. I am your host, the DMan. This is episode 2 of our journey through 400 mystery comics. That's right, 400 mystery comics. If you have not seen it yet, go check out our past videos. We opened up a box of 100 mystery comics. One box was DC themed, one box Marvel themed, one box independent themed, aka Image, IDW, boom! All that kind of fun jazz. And then we went and got an extra box, and being the Spider-Man fan that I am, and being the Marvel guy, it was a Marvel box. So we have 400 comics that we are going to be going through. And each episode here, I will be going through 3 of the issues. One from each of the boxes, one independent, one Marvel, and one DC. And for the first episode, if you actually watched, you know that I read those issues way long before I actually recorded the episode. This time, I just read them like 5 minutes ago. And then I came in here and was like, hit record now. So I hit record. I'm going to take this headphone off because it's not even coming back in the feedback. Bluetooth didn't start working. I don't know. Whatever. Device shows up on 2 different things on my headphones. It shows up as headset and headphones, and I had it on one and it was working, and then I switched it back and then it was working, and so I thought it was working, and then I finally pressed record, but I'm actually having decent momentum for this first minute, so I'm not going to stop it. Let's just keep rolling through. Again, we are the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. I say we because I am me, myself, and I up in this biznitch. Don't forget Venom. Okay. Welcome to the Randomness. You could always click like and subscribe, and then bail. I mean, I don't mind. As long as you hit a like, that'd be cool. You know, thumbs up. Anyway, so, the 3 issues we will be discussing in this day's episode. We got Hulk. Incredible Hulk 447, which was a pretty legit new Savage redefinition of the Hulk. From the DC bin, I pulled a Batman. It's a fun one. It had some Hollywood monsters on the front, so I was like, ooh, that looks fun. So I'm going to read that one. And it was fun. And I enjoyed it. I'll tell you very much. Skip Taser Randy here. Shout out to anybody who actually watches ABC's The Rookie. And then, of course, we got the Boom Masters of Magic. Oh, Masters of Metal. The magic comic Masters of Metal. I can't talk. So, read one from the independent box, one from the DC box, one from the Marvel box, the Hulk box. Because I say Hulk because that's what I'm about to pick. Because this is the one that I just finished reading. And since I donned the Hulk attire, I figured I should go ahead and discuss the Hulk book first. So this one was very interesting. It's a redefinition, it says, on the cover. A bold new chapter in the Green Goliath's life. So this is the introduction of Mike Deodato Jr. as an artist on the series. And this was quite interesting, as for the most of it, Hulk was in a bubble. Like an energy field. He was in this clay statue pose with basically like nobody could get near it because it was a crazy energy field, and if anybody tried to get near it, instant dissolve. Some dude's arm got dissolved off. He threw a rock to try to just show to, hey, Betty Brant, you can't go over there because, you know, you're going to get your arm, you're going to get disintegrated. Betty Banner, sorry. Betty Brant. Again, Spidey at heart. That'll always be my first thought in comics. So I got to readjust every once in a while. But talking about the Green Goliath here. So again, for the most part, it just has everybody hanging out. There's a candlelight vigilante happening for Hulk, one of the last surviving Avengers. And he just sit there. He's frozen in a statue. There's a whole bit of discussion about what to do with him. Government tries to basically get Betty Banner on their side once Hulk actually maybe gets free to help calm him down. And, you know, yada yada. Turn himself in without any trouble. Well, aside from a little bit of chaos in the line where, like, this one dude's like, I don't know what's happened to me. He gets all aggro and transforms kind of into something, like, sort of, I don't know, like zombie-ish looking thing. That's pretty much all that happens with the line. He kind of goes off. And then, boom, the whole energy field that's holding the Hulk in place erupts, giant explosion, and bam, Hulk's animated, back to life. Now, what's the first thing somebody does? Blast at him with a giant freaking rifle. That was one of the dudes that was kind of secret ops that is having a special kind of meeting earlier on in the book. And then, of course, the other army officers that have been standing guard the entire time, watching this energy field encapsulated Hulk, out of instinct just start firing back too. And then one dude's like, hey, dude, no, stop. Nobody's ordered you to fire. Ricochets are shooting our own dudes. Stop it, idiots. So Hulk then stops it all with a nice clap. Bam. And he's just sitting there laughing. The whole time he was quiet while getting blasted until he finally started laughing, going, ha, go ahead, shoot. He didn't say go ahead, shoot, but laughing, implying it that way. And then this one chick who was kind of like a hooded figure in the audience, you knew something was up with her. She hops on his back like, come on, buddy, let's go. And then Betty's like, hey, it's me, Hulk. And he's like, I don't know you. And then jumps off with the one chick on his back. And that's pretty much the end of that one. It was quite entertaining. The Incredible Hulk. Savage Redefined. That was issue 447. Now, let's switch it up to indie with some Masters of Metal. Magic. You want to go on a random tangent? Let's go on a random tangent. Yeah! Alright, so here's this random tangent here. Magic, I'll encapsulate it to just a part of the story because I can tell you lots of stories involving magic. I met my core group of friends that I am still friends with to this day in middle school. We formed a strong bond around Magic the Gathering. Yes, we were those nerds. Oh, surprising. The dude who does a comic book podcast played Magic in high school. Yes, I know, okay?
Stereotype.
I am. I am the walking definition of nerd.
Nerd.
Okay, but we formed those bonds playing that Magic the Gathering card game. We would go to Hometown Buffet and sit up, set up shop, be there for like 3 hours. They hated us. But we'd be playing a Magic card game tournament. And everybody put up their nice rare card. Winner would get to pick which rare card they got. Ipso facto, you go down the line, second, third, fourth. You usually possibly got stuck back with your own card if it wasn't that great. Sometimes you picked up some goodies. So Magic the Gathering has a very near and dear place in my heart. So I was excited to read a Magic the Gathering comic book. Woo woo! So this one featured the Planewalker here, who basically was doing some planning, some scheming. He was talking a lot to his assistant, telling him all his plans. What was his name again? Sorry. Like I said, I just read it. Oh, my name is Tezzeret. It's the Metal Mage, is what they called him. But basically it showed him kind of plotting and scheming and doing some things. He was looking for this book, but then it turned out he wasn't looking for this book. But before that, he did something where he had his assistant poke his eye. It was weird, but then he went to this specialist, doctor dude, to get the little metal piece removed from his eye and to have a replacement eye installed. And it was kind of creepy. It was weird. And then we saw some of these ogres in the book. But here's a picture of the dude doing the eye surgery. It's, like I said, it's a little creepy, but it's fun. Check out the YouTube at the one DMan for those of you listening only. But then he goes off. Sometimes he just, it disappears because he's a planeswalker, so he could just vanish. So planeswalkers, that's their ability. They can actually jump between different realms. And so in this book, it's sort of like Star Wars in a sense where there's a bunch of different guilds and factions. in this world that they kind of show here in the Magic the Gathering realm. And this Planeswalker, basically, he's kind of going off. He acts like he's kind of weak, but then he kind of shows people how dangerous and powerful he is by killing a bunch of people. And then he basically tried to make this one chick think he was looking for this book, but then he wasn't. And he's telling this all to his robot assistant, who then, kind of the way he responds, I guess triggers like the Planeswalker to be suspicious of it, because then it ends with the Planeswalker just shanking his robot assistant thing. Basically saying, we can't all be perfect, but, we can try again kind of thing. And so I think he was basically destroying, you're right, no one's perfect. Not the first time anyway. Hovering over his dead body. It's really cool, incredible art. I loved all the artwork. That was one thing I always loved about Magic the Gathering, is all the artwork on all the art cards. It was always superb. So, last but not least, first, hydration. I know, I do it every video apparently. I gotta take a hydration break. Wobbly mic.
Now, Venom would like to introduce to you one very special foe that I don't know if I've gotten the chance to actually face in the comics itself. I'd have to think back to that. There has been some crossovers with Spidey and this fella. But we're talking about Batman.
Hey, you're the one who clicked watch on my video, alright? I'm not forcing you to be here. Like and subscribe. Batman! Number 671. Now, I thought this was going to be something where it's like, oh, Batman faces like, Halloween horror monsters. And then, you pretty much find out real quick, oh no, this is going to be some fun one. This is going to be the Joker. Because within the first page, you have the Joker on his director's chair. And basically, the Joker is directing a movie or trying to make a movie and then selling it to Hollywood about the Batman. And this is an interesting version of Batman. It's not necessarily the standard version. This is Night Quest, the Crusade kind of timeline, storyline. Again, I didn't do research on this one. I kind of just read the books, hit record. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit here. That's how we like it at the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. So, I don't know too much about this character, this version of Batman where he has this armor. But he has this metal armor that at one point, one of the thugs who is the assistant directing the Joker, or the cameraman for the Joker at this film, says that he got the metal armor after fighting Bane. And after basically his attack with Bane, and I'm pretty sure after the whole Bane breaking his back thing. There's also at one point though this delusional character that pops up for the Batman. It's like this Saint Dumas. Oh gosh, trying to flip. There it is. Saint Dumas. But it's like this, I don't know, holographic. He looks like an old Crusades, like the Crusades, the freaking those kind of Roman warriors. Monty Python, Meaning of Life, 'Tis Just a Flesh Wound, those kind of people. So, Batman first, he helps this lady who's getting attacked by people dressed as these monsters here, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, Mummy, and then, but he's finding there's no reason behind this attacks, there's just random violence. So, but then he kind of comes obsessed a little bit with this woman. And from what I could tell from the comic is there's some sort of programming within the suit that kind of helps, that's controlling his thoughts, because the thoughts of the woman are actually kind of the system is trying to prevent those because it's distracting him. But so it's this weird version of Batman. I think it's still Bruce Wayne, but I gotta do a little bit more research. Maybe I'll get back to you on this next episode. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You got Google. Anyway, but it's very interesting. He then starts kind of hanging out around the college where she was, found out where she was from. Her name's like Cindy or something like that. I don't know. He ended up doing research, found out her name. All the while, the Joker, all the while, recorded basically Batman fighting with the monsters, and he pitched it. Well, first he pitched a movie with Batman as a midget, a little person, sorry. Politically correct, whatever, sorry. Apologies. But a little person, little Larry, and because he joked at the time all he could afford was a kid's costume. Because they were like, okay, well, he goes and presents this to these two Hollywood people. One's like, hey, I'm sorry, boss, that I had to bring you here or else this dude would have like killed me. So, but that dude's like, no, this is great, this is gold. We failed our last 2 films. This is something that actually might be like sellable. Go, Joker, let's do it. What do you need? The one dude's like, he's talking about killing Batman. The movie's called The Death of Batman. He's trying to pitch. Yeah, exactly. Later on, he's like, imagine the ratings. The exclusivity that we had the film that Batman got killed. You know. So, one Hollywood guy is good. One Hollywood guy like, yeah, give me that money. So Joker is making this whole film without kind of Batman even knowing until the end when it comes to a head a little bit again. Basically, they're like, what's missing in this film? What do we need? Motivation. You filmed a Batman fighting, but you don't have any reason we care if he dies. There is no motivation behind the Batman. And Joker's even kind of thrown off, too, that he's not dealing with the classic Batman. He's not sure about this whole metal Batman either. He actually says he much prefer the original Batman, but you got to deal with what you got to deal with. And so they stage another attack, this time with more movie characters. One's like a Terminator. There was a couple others. Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre character, and Leatherface. And then there was another one, I can't quite recall, but basically a couple of different famous movie characters, or people dressed in those famous movie character costumes. And then they attacked the Batman. Obviously, Batman prevailed. And then that's where, though, it leads him to a room. This attack all happens on a roof. He goes down the stairwell. It's kind of he realizes the planned attack, so he could tell that it was a trap for sure. But he has to go with it anyway. And so he then basically finds a room where the Joker playing cards kind of on the screen as a projector, as a movie projector is playing, showing his fight that just happened the other day against the movie monsters. So then now he realizes that he's been set up. And that's pretty much where it ends. But other very interesting issue. Oh, never mind, sorry. I forgot like one of the biggest plot twists that happens. So then after he finds that he's all set up, so he got set up, this Joker thingy, he then goes to find Sydney's apartment because he thinks, well, if they went through all this trouble to set me up just to try to get my goat, to try to get me on film, how far will they go? Will they kill somebody? And he thinks maybe they'll kill that chick, Cindy. So he goes over to their apartment, and then out the window comes flying the body, not of Cindy though, of Robin. And that's where it stops. So, also who knows, it was only the back. It doesn't show the front. So we don't even know if it's the real Robin. Considering how many plot twists have happened this time in this issue, I wouldn't put it past it for being a fake Robin or somebody in a Robin costume. So those are the 3 random comics from the 400 comic books that we will eventually be going through on the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. Sorry if I'm glistening a little bit, it's hot in here. But this is the best soundproofed area in the household. Now, one final comic I gotta give a shout out to is Hellverine. This one is a legit newer comic pickup. I mean, I don't know when the heck this is gonna drop. But just the combination of Wolverine and Ghost Rider. I mean, do I have to say more? Enough said. Right? Interesting plot twist, though. Spoiler alert if you haven't actually read issue number 1 or anything about number 1 of Hellverine. This version of Hellverine is not Logan. It's his son. Forget his name. Shoot. 2 seconds, I'll look it up. Flip through the page. Just look at some of that artwork, though. But at the very end, it says his name. Sorry. This is my son. That's Akihiro. Akihiro? Akihiro. But yes, shout out Hellverine. Hellverine, legit. There's actually a pretty awesome variant cover by Joshua Casero. Very cool Wolverine artist who I met at Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario. I keep wanting to call it Comic-Con Ontario, but it's Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California. One of my favorite cons to attend. So, again, I am the DMan. This has been the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. Check me out on Instagram at the1DMan. On YouTube, here is at the1DMan as well. So, until next time, this has been the Rough Draft of Randomness podcast. And if you are down with that, I got 2 words for you. Like and subscribe!